Hello, welcome to the Daily Political Tarot and Astrology here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you for being here. I apologize for delays. It is a crazy, crazy day. And boy, let me tell you, anyone who there's a reason you don't see individuals coming on every day or get with organized questions and input from outside and graphics and all of this. It's a lot. So I'm keeping an eye out the window. My father's out there, and I'm just kind of mainly focused here, 10% just out of the corner of my eye, make sure he's okay. So let's have a good day here. All right. Welcome. 10% of my income from everything Black and Orange goes to Feeding America at feedingamerica.org, which supplies food to food banks across the country. That is an ongoing thing. We have epic troll slayers who have kept us safe for years. Thank you. And we have a great community here because of you. You have been so kind to each other. You've been so kind to me. You've been so kind to Miss Sarah. Thank you for that. Thank you, Valerie. Miss Sarah, another row of storms has come through, including some more tornadoes. Her power has been on and off and flickering all morning, and she would very much. She wants me to thank you, and I want to thank you, everyone who sent her some foods that don't need to be heated or just some support. Prayers made a big difference. Huge. And to everyone who's in the path of the storms, bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you. So all the safety and all the safety possible, divine blessings upon you. So, okay. Anne Pryor is asking, what state does Sarah live in? She lives in Shreveport. So, Electrostorm, does your dad need some help? I don't want him to hurt himself again. I know, but he's his own person. So, let's just say he is in some ways a man of a certain generation. I'm not a spring chicken here, and not all men are like that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying things have changed a little. So he's going to do what he's going to do. I can just try to help. All right. So let me pull up ye old cards for today. I'm feeling like we should use the Weird World Tarot today. I don't know why, but let's just go with it. This is available on Etsy, I believe. The Weird World Tarot. I don't have a link to it, but let's see how this goes. Star says, I know you can't tell dad's what to do. Yeah. Rose Blue says, yep, my 89-year-old dad is stubborn too. Yes. Hold on says, you kept your everyday streak, so anytime you need to sign off, please do. Oh, thank you. Hold on. That's very kind of you. Thank you. And CMC likes the overlay today. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. I just absolutely loved this graphic. And so I put this all together. Thought we needed it. That's true, John France. Weird world if the shoe fits. Yes. Whew. Oh, Ricky has. And the star of the show, soon to be cast as Prince Charming in a new Disney movie about him, the one and only Boo-Boos and Kitty. Oh, yes, he's a good boy. I haven't actually seen him much today. I've seen a lot more of Alfie, who was in the window earlier. Just shuffling here. We'll get to the questions. All right. Oh, Lewis has the link, the Etsy link in the chat for Weird World Tarot. It's a good deck. It's a good deck. It is good quality. It's a good, it's not like solid, but it's substantial. It's good. All right. Susan, is it Deschamps? Is saying my husband is 76. We've been married for almost 40 years. Can't tell him a single thing. Isabel says Boo Boo would make a wonderful Prince Charming. He's a good boy. All right, let's jump in to those. If you're new around here, hello. We talk up front for just a second, like we just did. Check in with each other, say what's the latest is, and we just get have the color and the overlays and the high vibration stuff, and then we can dive down into the muck of political energy, and then we can come back up and then go back down and come back up, so that we don't live in that energy. So at 6 minutes 10 seconds in, little interesting little side notes came as a surprise to me, kind of out of the blue, but Scandal scarred Ken Paxton, Texas AG, Ken Paxton. Hello, Becca from House of Lenormand. Do follow House of Lenormand. Do follow Sage of the Scales Tarot, Valerie. And thank you, lucky girl. Ken Paxton. Whew. Yeah, I need to get a good. Wait, let me get a better deep breath of positive energy before I go read on anything to do with Ken Paxton, because he showed up at Donald Trump's trial yesterday. Really? Talk about scums of a feather. Anyway, scandal-scarred Ken Paxton supports his pal Trump in court. Paxton, who last month settled felony securities fraud charges by agreeing to fork over nearly $300,000 in restitution for misleading investors in a Dallas area tech startup, along with a promise to do 100 hours of community service and undergo 15 hours of legal ethics training, good luck getting that to stick, was seated in the front row of Courtroom 1530. That's where Trump's on trial. Paxton posted to X, with President Trump in New York City to sit through this sham of a trial. It's not a sham. This trial is a travesty of justice. I stand with Trump. More fool you. Okay. He arrived at the courthouse around 8:30 a.m. with Trump and his entourage of attorneys and Secret Service agents. Ken Paxton. And I can tell you right now, I would be floored if this isn't Ken Paxton wants to be VP. Dr. Storm says, I thought they had Wednesdays off. This was this morning? It's Thursday? I know he's been in, because I've been listening actually to CNN all morning, because they do the live coverage. Frustratingly, the way they do it's a little frustrating, but they do the live coverage. Holly Francis asking, was he keeping Eric company? Apparently, yeah, Eric was there yesterday for a while. He seems to be the only child actually caring. So, yeah. All right. Ken Paxton. Oh, look, it's a devil card. Surprise. Birds of a feather, scales of a devil. Scales of the devils. That's it. Birds of the feather, scales of the devils. Sounds like a song lyric. All right. Man. Judgment. Hanged man. Yeah, they know. They feel each other's pain, how dare they be held accountable for their own actions? What's the world coming to when a wealthy, connected white man is held accountable for his own actions? Yeah. Right. Fool, as in more fool you. Judgment, hanged man. Fool. King of Wands, so leader of the far right. King of Swords. 2 words. Why is Paxton in the courtroom with Trump? 2 words. Suck up. Whew, boy. Yeah, rose blue. Boo. Blanken who? Yes. CC Ryder is saying that Paxton still faces legal troubles, however. A federal investigation has been probing some of the same charges presented in his impeachment and former aides who reported Paxton to the FBI. Oh, they have lots to talk about. Lots and lots. CC Ryder says Paxton's angling for a pardon if he's convicted in a federal probe. Greta says he wants to be Trump's AG. Ooh, AG would be good. But hey, AG, VP. Let's see here. Becca is at Housel and Normand saying Andrew Weissman's reporting from the court that a total of 2 pro-Trump protesters are there outside. He's reporting both seem to have mental health issues. No need for commentary. All right. You want AG? You want VP? You want what you after? Gosh. Ugh. Makes your skin crawl. Look, it's the devil card again. There. Just keeps cropping up. All right, Page of Wands. That's weak. He hasn't been right next to Trump this whole time. I mean, this was a little bit, not entirely, but a little bit out of the blue. So he wasn't that. But then we get the Howling at the Moon. Knight of Swords. They both have a law enforcement coming for them. Then I get a Queen of Swords and a Queen of Wands. So this is groups of the far right and fighting legal matters. And all right, so I think this might be AG, because I'm not getting Emperor, King, look at me, Chariot, look at me. So yeah, we may be going for the AG. Blah. All right. Yeah. Phew. I think of that energy. Ick. You've got a point, spiritual Sean. The new Bill Barr? ? Donald Trump's Roy Cohn. Deborah is saying, yes, you did spell my name correctly. Thank you for that. You must be celebrating Derby. I don't know what you mean. Thank you, Kay Rubio. All right. Well, moving on to a slightly different topic. 1430. Time is counting down. The 6 months that Trump has to hold on to DJT stock. And for some reason, people are still throwing their life savings away to boost this thing up. Not to mention, I wonder how many people overseas or countries overseas are funding buoying DJT because it's around September, May, June, July, August, September. So around September, October, in theory, Trump can sell his shares in DJT and pocket hundreds of millions of dollars at current prices, or even as much as over $1 billion. Now, as soon as he says, because if you own that many, you have to announce ahead of time that you're going to sell, and that will usually tank the price a certain amount. But is Trump on track to pocket vast amounts of money? September, October, sometime along here. I'm not even going to say necessarily just before the election, because I don't think that's going to be the big deal. The big deal is this man getting that much money. There's no Ace of Pentacles here. There's no big chunk of money here. The card for the reading, what we're worried about, is sitting pretty. 9 of Pentacles. Page of Swords. That's pretty weak. 2 of Wands. It's based on a communications company, social media company. Queen of Wands. Various people associated would make money. But then I get a 10 of Cups, happy Democratic families, and an Ace of Cups. So while right now it looks like he'll be pocketing vast amounts of money, the dodginess of the way this was set up, about this communication company, there are definitely people bolstering this. It suddenly ends with new action, big action by Democrats. Could be Trump losing the election, but which I do believe he will. Excuse me. But why does it suddenly switch to this? And there's no Ace of Pentacles here. There's no huge chunk of money. See if I can get any more information. Warrior Spirit says Tish ought to take his stock. Warrior Spirit or freeze his stocks. Maybe you have something there. Does Trump get all that money? Howling at the moon. Doesn't bode well for him. Cards make me happy. These cards are making me happy. Hanged Man. Suspension. 5 of Pentacles. Out in the cold. Poverty. Destitution of whatever nature. 9 of Swords. Worry. Sleepless nights. Page of Pentacles. That's a pathetically small amount of money. It's just a page. It's just a little page. Star. Hope. Okay, maybe we don't need to worry as much as we were afraid we needed to. Oh, Charles, thank you. Thank you. That's very kind of you. I appreciate that. It makes a big difference. Whew. All right. At 1940, this is a question I have. So last night, while I was doing various things, I was listening to Hal Sparks, and Hal was going over Trump rallies, whatever. It was Trump talking, and without Hal stopping it and correcting him on all of his many lies. It gets to the like nails on a chalkboard levels of frustration. Anyway, but there are two things about the rallies. One, is the next question about what Trump can get away with, what people will believe. But this first question I noticed, you know how Trump got people at his rallies to cheer when he used a swear word? He'd use a swear word and then they'd go, yay, right? Well, he's swearing more and more. Flat out swearing more and more. And first time it's like, yeah, that's what he does. Second time it's like, it's interesting. Third time it was like, ooh, somebody is perhaps starting to unravel a little bit. So I'm calling this swear to tell the lies. Trump is swearing more and more during his rallies. Will it get worse and worse and turn off voters? Because it's one thing that people, he's a straight talker. He says, he talks the way a lot of other people talk, or he's honest, or, no mealy-mouthed political blather. Yes, but there's also a point after which you want someone decent in that job, at least in theory. And swearing is throwing red meat to the base. Democrats with like Joe Biden, he doesn't swear in public. He doesn't need to. Look, card for the reading. It's the devil card. I'm not making this up. It really is. Third time? Third time. Well, thank you, Jeffrey, saying that we're voting blue for you. Excellent. Thank you. Page of Swords, Page of Wands. It's childish. King of Pentacles. Well, he's always done what he wants to do. Two of Wands, there's communication. Queen of Cups. Like all of this is, yes, childish. People go along with it. Swears like a New Yorker, or swears like a, whatever, his brand of communication, locker room talk, whatever. But it's running up against this Queen of Cups. Democratic voters also, dun dun dun, women voters. And not saying everybody, because obviously there are female MAGAs. But yeah, he took away our rights. Men have equal rights in every state in the union, but women don't. Men can go from state to state and not have to think about anything if they don't want to. But women, especially women of childbearing age, or women who have family members or friends of childbearing age, or yeah, so he can run his mouth, but this is what he's coming up against. November. Is it going to get worse? Is he? It just feels like it doesn't matter. And the disgust, people's disgust with him. I mean, right now, look what he's in court for. The things the things they're admitting to in court, the things they're talking about in the news, would have sunk a president in the past so quickly, so completely. And while obviously things have changed, there's just a point at which there's a I don't know, there's an average, I think. And even though it seems like for years we've been sliding, we haven't really. It's the beach ball on the water. You can push it down under the water, but you let go and it will bounce back up. And not everybody's willing to let the country sink into the bog of eternal Trump stench. That's why he lost in 2020. That's why midterms were not a red wave in 2022, and why I believe strongly he's going to lose the 2024. Trump is going to lose the 2024 election as long as we vote. We're going to vote, right? We're going to hang on. We're going to vote, right? Right? Voting. We're gonna vote. But there is a level. Lori Burdine says his base reacts like children when he cusses because they think it's cool. Yeah. James says, you betcha we're going to vote. Excellent. We're going to vote. All right. So, now, the one thing I heard at 26:45, disturbing, but look, there are a lot of people out there. They're not drinking from this news fire hose every day the way we are. I mean, seriously. I mean, we're all over this, and Trump, there are some lies that Trump's telling that unless you really know details, they sound plausible to people who are already on the fence. It's only when you know the facts that it's like, no. So Trump is lying about taxes at his latest rallies. He's lying about taxes. It's Biden's going to put in the largest tax rate rise in U.S. history, blah, blah, blah. You mean some of your taxes, the ridiculous amount of taxes you cut, which blew a massive hole in our deficit, making it much worse? Some of that stuff is set to expire, and you're calling that Biden raising your taxes. And he's just going on and on about that. It's the only part of his rally where it's like, yeah, I could see if you don't know the facts, some of this, you might buy some of this garbage. And there is a pain point with inflation. We're still in trust me, compared to some places in the world, or a lot of places in the world, we're actually doing quite well, but it's still brutal. And you don't get out of a worldwide pandemic unscathed. You just don't. But that's hard to feel when you're having to go over your budget and you're trying to make ends meet, and groceries are so expensive, and it's hard. And with climate change, there are other prices that are going to go up. I'm going to tell you right now, prices of coffee, futures on coffee are going up dramatically because of climate change, because there are harvests in certain parts of the world that are not doing well. But that has nothing to do with a policy of Joe Biden's. But for low information voters, Trump is lying about taxes at his latest rallies. People may not be well enough informed to recognize his lies. He's also lying about inflation. Is this pain point in the populace enough to get Trump back into the White House? Yes, hold on. Chocolate too. Yeah. Visualize 70 says the price of olive oil has skyrocketed. I mean, and we know coffee's a particularly touchy crop. I mean, it needs high altitude. You need very more rarefied conditions. So, Six of Cups, nostalgia. I remember when. Yeah, well. Eight of Wands. I mean, you know, I remember when there's a lot of talk about the economy being amazing around 1900 up to 1910, or in the 1890s, the 1900s, in the sense of the Gilded Age, they called it, and then the 1920s being a boom time. But I think for the average person, by the time you got to the Great Depression, I don't think that was something like inconceivable to them, because I don't think the Gilded Age trickled down very well. And then you had World War I. Then you had the Spanish flu. You had that pandemic. That messed with prices and access and how many working age men there were. So the boom of the 20s was not necessarily everything we think of it. And then, of course, in 1929, you had the stock market crash and you had the Great Depression in the 30s. And the only reason we got out of the Great Depression in the 30s was because of World War II. So this nostalgia here of, wow, the way things were. Yeah, and the Dust Bowls, Ricky, yeah. The way things were have not always been grand. But also a lot of those people, that generation, a lot of them are, you know, the majority of people are gone from that level. And it was more than 100 years ago. So this is the Eight of Wands. So a lot of, but they're the right are making hay about this, of course. Wheel of Fortune, Two of Cups, Chariot, and the Sun. These cards are much better than I thought they would be. I mean, yes, the far right is trying to make hay of things, but there's a Wheel of Fortune here, and Republicans had control. In 2016, the election put Donald Trump in the White House and gave control of the House and the Senate to Republicans. And what did they do with it? And now, how many of them are on trial? The average person in the US isn't MAGA. They just aren't. I'm not saying they're Democrats. I'm just saying the average person, and they're just not that extreme. And this whole, oh gosh, you mean your old vice president isn't putting everything they have behind your next presidential run? They're not endorsing you because you kind of tried to kill them? It matters. Decency matters. Healthcare matters, especially for women's healthcare and the men who support. Yeah. Chariot. That's a big parade float. That's big movement with the sun, with everything out in the open. So do we have financial pain points? Yes, we do. Berkey says they added $7 trillion to the debt and unemployment was at 13%. And Raymond de Pascal is pointing out it's not necessarily inflation, but greedflation. Yes. Yes, there's definitely some of that going on too. CC Ryder says, I don't understand why Democrat strategists don't understand that 50% of the country is not informed. Tell them the plan of the GOP. I think they will. I think they will, honestly. Okay, so let us move on to, let's go on to Kamala Harris. Bless her. She went to Florida and gave a speech and was talking about the women's health care ban, 6-week women's health care ban that's been put into place. And she said, quote, Trump did this. Yes. Where is it? US VP rages over Florida ban. Will Trump and Republicans be held accountable for those bans by voters? Will Trump and his ilk, the other Republicans, be held accountable for those bans when it is time to equal rights, equality? 3 of Cups, women. And I have to agree 100% with the people saying that, if you really think that women's health care it has to be tightly corralled because women will make selfish choices for funsies, that says a lot about what you think about women. Yeah. We are more than capable of making the best decisions for ourselves and our families with the help of doctors. You want to take that away? Get stuffed. Anyway, Sun. It's all out there. 2 of Swords. Decisions that women make. Knight of Pentacles. Far right. Whatever they do. Hermit. 5 of Pentacles. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, they're going to be held accountable. You did this. Republicans, Trump, Republicans, you did this. Okay. And oh gosh, I didn't write that down. I didn't write down the time. 30, what was that? Like 33 minutes? Weeks? All right. And Steve was asking about that 6-week ban in Florida. We'll just have a look at that at 39 minutes in. What's the fate of that particular referendum? Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for going through the news with all of us, with me. Appreciate that. Yes, Lewis, if people want to experience the 1400s, why not go to a Renaissance fair and leave the rest of us alone? And the reality is that most people who go to Renaissance fairs are actually pretty open-minded. My friend Kate, bless her, who we lost. She loved going to the Renaissance fair. She had costumes. She did a lot of great stuff. Miss her. Anyway. So Let me make this 40, 10. Fate of the Florida referendum. Fate. How are we doing, Dad? How are we doing? You look okay. Fate of the Florida referendum. Oh, look, the Hierophant, the establishment, the government. Judgment, 4 of Wands. King of Cups in the middle. That's a good sign. Page of Cups, young people, that's even better. Queen of Pentacles. There's pressure here, but there are a lot of Republicans who are going to want to keep it in place. This is young people in Florida, and this would be your Joe Biden federal push here. So what I'm getting is this kind of butting heads back and forth. We need a national law that passes to give women control of their own bodies. Okay, thanks. So, Claude had a question about James Comer, because apparently the whole impeachment thing isn't going swimmingly at 42 minutes in. So Claude was saying James Comer said that James Comer said that the Joe Biden impeachment inquiry was slow because of the amount of proofs. Does he have them really? Does he believe that the American people will believe this garbage? Excluding MAGA, of course. It seems to me that even Maria Bartiromo's well annoyed with Comer. Where is the proof? You keep coming on here. She even called him out recently. You keep saying there's proof. Where is it? Ten of Swords. Yeah, it's not going so well for you, Comer, is it? 5 of Cups. Disappointment. I'm sorry, Comer. Can you not find evidence of all the stuff you talk about? Ace of Wands. Yeah, but you blow a lot of smoke. 8 of Cups. Where's the evidence? Evidence for the Emperor, to show that you are Lover's card, Emperor, to show that you are devoted to Trump. Just disappointed, blowing smoke. Where's the evidence? You're missing the evidence, but you've proven your loyalty. Are people really going to... He doesn't have the evidence. Are the American people believing his, excluding MAGA, are the American people believing his nonsense? 8 of Pentacles. Well, they don't have that much to work with. Their candidate for the presidency is in a criminal trial right now for doing things that would have torpedoed other people's political campaigns. So 8 of Wands, just keep throwing stuff out there. 4 of Wands, but 10 of Wands, it's a burden. There's nothing to it. You're just weighing you down. It's not hurting Joe Biden. Yeah. Yeah. So, meh. All right. Actually, let's do at 45:15. Kim had a question about the future of Bill Barr. Can you get a read on the future of Bill Barr? Hello? We'd like to see the full Mueller report. Okay, thanks. Hello? Hi? Merrick Garland? Anybody? Hello? DOJ? We'd like to see the full Mueller report, please. But, Bill Barr. Oh, he is a bag filled with scum. Page of Wands. Oh, now it's no. I didn't believe Trump. No. He saw what was coming. He saw the whole talk about January 6th and he bailed. But other than that, he's all in. As a matter of fact, for all his talk, it was just talk because he's now endorsed Trump again. Or he said he's going to vote for Trump again. We wouldn't believe you if you said water was wet. Okay. 8 of Pentacles. He definitely worked for Trump. 10 of Pentacles for the dynasty, the unitary executive theory. 9 of Wands. Oh, feels all beaten up. King of Pentacles. Far right. Hanged Man. Well, this is some kind of abrupt change, metaphorically stringing somebody up by their heel or their ankle. Because this is just all the garbage he was willing to do for Trump. So why have I got a hanged man here? What is that? Is that legal? Being legally held accountable? Six of Wands, card for the readings of far-right victory. It's not surprising. Chariot, that would be a big show trial, show hearing, not in the sense of it not being real, but like a big showy thing where he's carrying that big burden and there's a justice card. So while the energy feels kind of a little weak, it's not like overwhelming me with, yes, this is definite. The cards are pointing towards, oh yeah, he's going to be in trouble. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. I want to say, haven't I been getting for a while that he had some difficulties? So all right. And then we have so rose blue. Now I didn't have time to go and look this up. So please let me know if you know more about this. But at 48:50, apparently there is a new decision day on the Supreme Court calendar for May 9th, which is in a week's time. Yeah, a week from today, Thursday, May 9th. Is it on the immunity case? Yes, they do have other cases to decide, but the Supreme Court has added a new decision day on May 9th. Oh, so frustrating. So frustrating. Next time, Supreme Court decision. I don't know what other things they have going on, so I don't know. CC Ryder's asking, did you get this from the Supreme Court website? Can you cite the source? And Luna Storm says, we won't know until the day of the decision. I understand. Well, okay, we did have the far right arguments for what, because it could be anything that they've been looking at. Sleepless nights over Luna Storm says it's on the website. Excellent. This is sleepless nights over legal matters, followed by judgment, big time judgment. And then at that point, I've got people. I've got, I think, the individual justices, Queen of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, but also King of Cups. And it's the King of Cups that's making me think that this might be the immunity thing. Because you give Trump immunity, you give Biden immunity. So on the far right, it's not just Trump who gets that. So the cards are saying there's a real chance that could be next week, but I don't know. The far right seem to be doing such a bang up job of dragging their feet, which gives Trump a bit of a win right there. Suburban Housewife is asking, are the Supreme Court, are they hearing arguments or issuing a decision? Well, Rose Blue is saying it's a decision day. They've added a new decision day next Thursday. So yeah, TJ, fingers crossed. Absolutely. Okay. I swear the energy on the Supreme Court just gets worse and worse every time I read on it. Just overall. Anne says if an ex-president gets immunity, then so does Obama. Well, that's true, but he isn't in trouble for anything he did while he was in office. So he can't. Well, then, but it's immunity for things he did. Even Trump's own lawyer was not trying to get Trump immunity for things Trump did outside of office. Although he's trying to say that taking top secret documents was a part of his official acts. Yes, Raymond DePascal, the Supreme Corrupt Court. Yeah. All right. So let us move on to the protests. You will notice I have not been reading on the protests at universities and across the country and what have you. So let me just read on it. There are two questions here. One from Katsy Klein at 5310. Are there paid protesters on college campuses by Team Trump, etc., to derail Biden's presidential campaign? I'm hearing that leaders in protests were also antagonists in 2020 during COVID for Trump. Let's have a look at the protests. This feels like it's got extra cards, so let's pull extra cards. Protests across the U.S. About what's happening in Palestine, Gaza specifically. Geez, there are a lot of cards coming out. Man. All right, I turn stuff over and see what I've got. All right, in the past, Page of Pentacles. Support for conservative views. Feels like it was kind of baked in. The center is the sun, bringing a lot of light to the situation. Hanging above this, 7 of Pentacles, fruits of labor, and 2 of Wands, far right communication, but far right communication could be, I think it's probably more extremist communication. Knight of Pentacles, 2 of Swords. So going out and protesting and over these kind of legislative decisions and what have you. King of Wands is in the home position. Hopes and fears. We have Page of Cups. What other people see, 5 of Swords. So that would be the big protests, the challenge. How can we all get along? How can we stop all children from being hurt? Near future, 10 of Wands, there's a burden, 9 of Cups. This would be more of a peaceful protest. This would be more of everything laid out with the one spokesperson, but with support. The extremism, any extremism doesn't work. Final outcome, Ace of Cups. Then I have 2 cards in the middle, Page of Wands and 8 of Pentacles. So these would be, again, the conservative voices working, and an Ace of Swords. So these are new beginnings with them trying to, so there are some outside actors here. Matter of fact, please correct me. Columbia University is getting more than $1 billion from somewhere in the Middle East. Is it United Arab Emirates? Is it somewhere? But Qatar. Thank you, Deb. Thank you. It was Qatar. Yeah. Lisa 44 is asking what? Yeah. There's some outside agitation going on here. I'm not dismissing the protests, and I'm a big believer in peaceful protests, and bless those peaceful protesters who led the way that led to equality for both women and people of color. Bless you. You made huge sacrifices to peacefully protest. Bless you. Bless you. And we have all benefited from that. All of society has benefited from equality. Yeah. Callie's kid says a second encampment's been set up at the University of Washington. Yeah. I don't know that I got much else that I could add to this, to be honest. Let's have a just a look at the country, if you don't mind. I know there are people all over the world. I just want to do a quick reading here at 5940. Let's just do 1 hour. Let's just do future of the United States between now and Election Day 2024. Let's have a quick look at that. Okay. Future of the U.S. May, June, July, August, September, October 2024. Do make sure you're prepared for any storms this summer. Do what you can. I know it's expensive, but little things here and there, keeping safety in mind. Actually, it's getting really dark here. There, that's better. Ten of Pentacles. All right. All right. Ace of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, King of Wands. So this is Trump blowing smoke with the others. They're this feels like the RNC. I don't know why the RNC, not just regular Republicans. This feels like the RNC working all for the King of Wands with Trump at the center. However, Chariot, the big parade float for the Emperor. Trump's going to be all over the news. Now, the difference is that when he was all over the news in 2016, it was him at the rallies, it was him saying the odd thing here or there. This is more Trump being in the news for being on trial and for being convicted of stuff and for losing court cases and it being proven in courts and by juries that Trump is a rotten human being. And it finally reaches a point where it does add up. There's a point at which Neptune leaves Pisces. I'm trying to remember when exactly that happens. But Two of Pentacles. Yeah, just be careful. Be careful with your money, but you don't need me to tell you that. I've got a Fool, a Four of Pentacles. For all the talk of Trump potentially getting a whole lot of money at the end of summer, beginning of fall, before the election, this is a miser. This is him not getting it, not going well, and he is desperate for money. Don't let anybody tell you any different. Eight of Cups, evidence constantly being gathered against him. It's going to cost him a fortune, and I do believe it's going to bankrupt him. And it couldn't happen to a bigger jerk because it would be hard to find a bigger jerk. All right. Whew. Well, we got through the news. We did. And we can go on with our day. We can go and be productive. We can go and be supportive of others. We can go hug people we care about or animals we care about and just be, think about other things maybe. So that'll be good. It's 1:20 p.m. here in Chicago. At 3 o'clock, I'll be over on the Creative Sprints channel. Obviously, Sarah is with and without power. Poor thing. Don't worry about her. But I will be over there, and we are going to do our creative sprints and make progress on our projects, and it's going to be a good day. All right, hang in there. You're not alone. We are in this together, and there are good days ahead. There are. Hang in there. I'll see you right back here tomorrow. Same cat time, same cat channel.